Hi everyone, this is BDevine. I hope that this is finding you happy and well. Let me make sure this is close enough. Okay, so today we're going to be doing a declaration for the world and to lift the vibration and also to help any weather conditions that are happening or any disasters, especially what we've seen in Maui, and really just take action on this. And I know some of my light leaders will say, oh, you're going to do a meditation about it. I have done a world meditation before, but this one's going to be just more of a declaration and also giving permission for things to start to take place, for peace to start to be more seen, for the truth to be more revealed, less severity, okay, for a quietening of some of this darker energy that is running rampant right now because it's on its way out. And when something's in the throes of passing, sometimes they try to take everything with it on the way down, okay? So we're going to do this declaration and I will just take you through it. It's not something that you have to visualize. It's something that you just listen to my words, and this starts to happen because your spiritual light team and your higher self and source energy all need permission to get to work for you, okay? And you have to kind of tell them what you want them to do. You have to give them permission for what you want them to, act on, okay? So if that's not happening, sitting around and talking about it and being grumpy about it and trying to point things out to other people and getting annoyed at things isn't really helping. One of my jobs here, well, there's a bird that just arrived on the outside. I can't show you because it's all misty. One of my jobs here on this planet is to bring you into a remembrance of who you are. And recently there's been a lot of things that have been taking place around that has made a lot of people feel fearful and drop their energy vibration. We're supposed to be in high vibrational energy now, and then we go ahead and drop it all down because our mind is spiraling and all this sort of thing. And then things come up in life, situations abound, you've got one thing going on after another, and then you forget to pull yourself back in and give yourself a break, give yourself some understanding and compassion. So I'm going to talk more about some things, but firstly, we really need to do this declaration. So this is where I'm going to start, and also I'll be doing a little bit of healing towards the end of this. So if you need healing for something, put that to the front of your energy. So just make a conscious decision. Okay, whatever it is that I need, and some of you already know what it is, put it to the front. And if you don't feel like you need any healing, perhaps you might just need a boost, and that's available for you, whatever it is that you need. Okay, so everyone just close your eyes for a moment. It's nice if you can hold some high vibrational crystals. So I have selenite, and I have my old trusty Lemurian. Okay, so let's get going. Just close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Okay, so just sit in here for just a moment. Okay, so just listen to my words and just hold intention. I'm speaking on everyone's behalf, okay? As a sovereign being of light, I hereby give permission for my spiritual light team, my higher self, and the energy of source to be with me, work with me, and surround me right now. Right now. I'm calling on all cosmic beings of light, all elemental beings, all dragons of the 4 directions, north, south, east, and west. I'm calling on the chaos dragons who destroy chaos to move forward in your flock of black energy, silver tails. We give permission for the chaos dragons to move now across the globe and shut down anything that is causing deliberate problems to others, causing or manipulating others, hurting other people, anything that was deliberately set into motion to hurt others and to steal from others, either land, personal belongings, weapons of destruction, weapons of manipulation of weather. If there's anything like that that is happening on this planet that is purposely manipulating people's lives, destroying people's lives, and killing people, we give permission for the chaos dragons to take care of it now. We are protected. The triple shield of protection that goes down into the center of the earth and up into the center of the universe. We are connected in with our spiritual light team and higher self and source energy, and we also give permission for those on our teams to get to work with energy and darker energy now, to uplift the world in a higher vibration now. We call upon the dragons of the north, south, east, and west to go to your respective areas of the world and to work in tandem with the chaos dragon, the Tardicam, the Musha dragons, the warrior dragons, the guardian dragons, all dragon beings, giving permission to bring and restore peace and balance across the planets, across the universe. We ask source energy to send healing in the highest vibration down to the earth, under the earth, around the earth, in the auric atmosphere. We give permission for the mighty archangels and all their legions of light to be at every single doorway, at every single window, at every single street corner, lined up in pure white light all across the globe. Amplifying the positive energy, destroying the negative energy, allowing people to see the truth on their own, allowing people to remember who they really are, to start to unite in love instead of finding faults and divisions in every word, in every look, in every belief. We also ask that the dragons, our spiritual light team in the angelic realms, and all cosmic beings of light to move through all government and remove darkness. Anyone with a hidden agenda, anyone who needs exposing, anyone who has been against the people and not for the people. And we give them permission to do so. Anyone in the spiritual communities who are not really, truly for the benefit of the people. Anyone in the religious communities who are really truly not benefiting the people or for the benefit of the people. Anyone in the school communities who are not there for the children, to help the children, but rather to hurt children. In all law enforcement. And 3-letter organizations. In fact, corruption and destruction that has been everywhere. We ask for full and total exposure and healing right now. We are pushing forward positive vibrations. We are pushing forward on our journey. We are less concerned with the journeys of others, but as a whole, we are lifting and lighting the world in clear, high vibrational energy. And we give permission to adjust the frequencies. We know we have to give permission for whatever it is that we're asking for. So we give permission for restoration of peace, for the world to know what peace really is. And we do have understanding of things having to finish completely or come to a halt completely, but we also ask for the short way through all of this karmic energy rather than the long way. We are asking for angelic blessings. We are asking for guidance. We are asking for support, a cleansing and clearing of any negative energies on this earth, and in fact, that they all turn and transform into positive energies, that we can direct this at will, that we are doing it now from our hearts. And we know that this helps and this gets rid of things quicker, that we're taking part in helping to heal the planet. And we give permission for this energy to keep going until all destroyed. The light wins. The light has already won. We are the light. We continue to push this light forward one step at a time. And we ask for this to be done now, through all directions of time and space, from the past into the present and into the future. That the machinery and fake people and problems and the evil of the world and those causing mass destruction for their own gain, that something be done now, and we start to see symbols and signs and results that this is happening. Anything that I have not covered here, I ask that the entire teams can feel the intentions, and we ask for safety and protection on the highest of the high, and we give thanks that it is done. It is done. It is sealed with love and light and high vibrational energy, and so it is. So be it. It is done. Open your eyes. Okay. So the thing is even if you don't believe that, all of this crazy is happening on purpose, just by setting the intention that if it is, just by chance that it is, and it's here to destroy and it's here to hurt people, that we just don't want that anymore. Well, there's nothing wrong with clearing away energy, okay? We have to give permission from our teams for what we want them to do. At the same time, we have to remember that our thoughts and our words are declarations, and things start happening, and we have to remember that that will happen quickly as well. Some of you are just on the beginning of your journey, and I know that a lot of things can be overwhelming. And one of the biggest things that you have to learn is to make a declaration for yourself every single day. The declaration has to include permission for your guides and angels, your light team, permission for your higher self, and permission for Source or God to be working with you and through you, protecting you, connecting you, aligning you, supporting you, okay? Awakening you, bringing wisdom to you in a triple shield of protection. If you can do those things every single day, your life is going to progressively change. And if you're trying to work on your third eye, and you're trying to work on having a mediumship, and you're trying to work on all of these very big spiritual practices, you need to master the small ones. And this is really for everybody. Master the small steps, because when you do, there's no need to spiral. You've got it. You've got everything that comes up in your life. You know, I know of people for years and years and years who constantly spiral. You can give them advice, you can show them the way, but you can't make them do it. You know, and this seems to be the thing, you know, with people with their beliefs. And, you know, with me, with mine, I don't tell anybody what I do. If they ask me, that's a different story. But I'm not going to sit at the table and try to dictate their life to them and tell them what they should and shouldn't be doing. You know, that's not what it's about. But they do notice that, you know, I look well, and I'm happy all of the time. And, you know, I'm always full of advice. But the spiritual side of stuff, that doesn't come out unless someone asks me what I do. And then I get a chance to look at the eye roll. If there's no eye roll and they're more interested, then I just start talking about it gently, just mainly answering questions. But it's just like the way that I eat. I don't feel like I need to lecture the person who I don't even know about the way that I eat. I mean, or what I believe in, or who my last, you know, partnership was, or whatever, right? It's nobody's business. You will find that the loudest person in the room, okay, the loudest person in the room has the most to hide. Isn't that funny? And I always find that the most fearful people are the ones that try to bring you into their group of fear. And this channel and any of my work is based on positivity, on you being able to do this yourself, on you being greater than you think you are without being big-headed, right? Of you owning your own power and sharing that power and that light with others. You understanding and recognizing yourself as a sovereign being of lights. Because believe me, any energy, okay, positive or negative, knows that you're a sovereign being of light, even if you don't. And they prey, or especially negative energy will prey on people who don't know who they are. They'll prey on drug addicts, they'll prey on negative people, they'll prey on angry people, they'll prey on control freaks and manipulative people, because they're an easy target. So they don't understand that they could also block that energy away from them. When you understand your sovereignty and you declare yourself as a sovereign being of light, energy pays attention. Dark spirits pay attention. Any hexes, curses, or spells, negative psychic attack, can't come any further. Understand who you are, okay? The other thing is that with your sovereignty and with these things that are happening on the earth, you also become quite sensitive the more, the more you go along on your journey, the more sensitive you become, because you're opening up your skill sets and abilities. So be aware of what's happening, but don't be a sponge for everyone else's crap. Every time I hear someone on YouTube or someone on TikTok or someone on Facebook or whatever do a reading, or they're giving a talk about spiritual stuff or whatever it is, and they say that they are feeling everything, around them, feeling their family members' BS. Oh gosh, to be an empath is so hard. I'm just picking up everybody, it's just, you don't know what it's like to be me. Why would someone allow that kind of thing to happen? Especially if they're already in the spiritual work. Haven't they learned about protecting themselves? And if that's the case, why haven't they done it? Why do they want to feel everything? That's a worry to me. I can be aware. But I have people tell me their problems all day. And if I was one of these people, I'd be done after one day, because I would be absorbing, all of these people's problems and their traumas and their issues and their abuses all day. How could you function? So you've got to beware of people that want you to be miserable with them, even in the spiritual community. Now, this is going to be exposed because we've actually given permission for this to happen. Not to mention it's just coming down anyway. But by asking, then only those people who are, standing in truth are going to be able to keep on going. It's just how it's going to be across the planet. Many of you are going to be surprised who is standing at the end, who it is that you believed in that wasn't real. I also feel like it's part of the journey for us all to start to be truth detectors, and understand that if we follow our feeling, okay, our first feeling is always correct. And if we follow that, it's always right for us. So what's right for you may not be right for somebody else, okay, as well. So that's okay. There's no judgment at all for someone else's beliefs and what they do. What I feel is necessary is that we have this high vibration, that we understand our protection, we understand that we're sovereign, we understand we all have abilities, we understand that we're all healers, we understand that there isn't a hierarchy, right? And we learn as much as we can, and those that can teach as much as you can. That's what we're here to do. And people who are not here to do that will be exposed. People who don't have your best interest at heart won't be available all of a sudden. Who knows where they'll be, because we won't be in that same vibration anymore. We won't be on the same timeline. So make sure you have your protective boundaries. The earth is changing, and we have a lot of high vibrational energy floating down, coming down towards us and coming up from the earth as well. As each location heals, it has a new frequency that it pulses out. And that is what we have to understand and adapt to as well. So I had some notes for myself, but I've already kind of gone over those. I wanted to read something. This is the second time I've had this book, The Seat of the Soul. There's something in the back here. Just one moment. I saw it before and it was, okay, here it is, psychology. So bear with me while I read some of this to you. Psychology means soul knowledge. It means the study of the spirit, but it's never been that. Psychology is the group of cognitions, perceptions, and effects. It is the study of the personality. Because psychology is based upon the perceptions of the five sensory personality, the ordinary taste, hear, see, smell, what's the other one? Taste, hear, see, smell, think, perhaps. Anyway, only five senses, not your spiritual senses and your connections and your abilities and all these things. So they're not, most psychologists are just seeing a person as an ordinary being who's here on the earth right now, not an extraordinary being that's been here many times and is very high vibrational or needs help because of the lower vibrational energy trying to attack it or whatever, right? So this five sensory personality, it's not able to recognize the soul. It's not able to understand the dynamics that underlie the values and behaviors of personality. So just as medicine seeks to heal the body without recognizing the energy of the soul that lies behind the health or the illness of the body, and therefore cannot heal the soul, psychology seeks to heal the personality without recognizing the force of the soul that lies behind the configuration and experiences of the personality, and therefore also cannot heal at the level of the soul. So in order to develop and nurture your mind and your body, it's necessary to realize that you have a mind and body. To heal directly at the level of the soul, it's first necessary to acknowledge that you are a soul. If you have a soul, is it hollowness that mythologically fills your ribcage? No. If then your soul is real and you as a soul are real and alive with force and beingness, what's its purpose? To develop a healthy and disciplined mind, an intellect that can expand wholesomely and fully into any task, requires more than merely recognizing the existence of the mind. It requires understanding how the mind works, what it desires, what strengthens it and what weakens it, and then applying that knowledge. In the same way, it's not possible to consciously assist the soul in its evolution merely by recognizing the existence of the soul. It is necessary to understand the soul's temperament, to learn what the soul can tolerate and what it cannot tolerate, what contributes to its health and what breaks its health down. These things need to be looked at. And this is another reason why I created my academy, because I have a great understanding of spiritual energy and attachments and different types of attachments and things that can happen through the traumas of every single person's life. So you are multisensory, more than five senses are working all at once. And so therefore there's more than the standard amount of things that can actually bother you in life. And giving you a standard definition for something that's going wrong with you, okay, is not looking at you as a whole, it's looking at you as a symptom. When I started my academy, it was to teach healers how to really heal their clients by a three-part method. And this is only semester one. Other things deal with other things. But this three-part method will break down every aspect of who your client is, what they're looking to achieve, what their goals are for the future, and what they would actually do if they had no problems physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, or whatever. No problems whatsoever. Everything was right in their lap. What would they do? And 9 out of 10 people haven't got a clue because they never thought they could get out of suffering. How sad is that? Not to be able to look forward to anything because you're going to be stuck with whatever problems you have for the rest of your life. And all that you can look forward to is a cocktail of tablets and a team of people telling you that that's how it's going to be for the rest of their life and nodding their head at you. And you believing, for God's sake, there's got to be more than this that can happen. But okay, well, I'm in all this terrible pain and discomfort and you know, I can't think straight, so I'm going to take more tablets and more and more and more. And then the next thing you know, you're an old person with problems from all the chemicals and the tablets and the issues that you had, and never being heard, so you go deaf, you know, not being able to see clearly, so you lose your eyesight. And, you know, all these different things start to attack you until you become paranoid. You know, when you can't hear and you can't see very well and you're old and you can't defend yourself and you're vulnerable, you're going to also become paranoid about everything around you and everything around you until you die. And many people live this way. It's how it's been for the people I've looked after until they've died, right? So this is not something I know nothing about. And 90% of older population will do everything a doctor tells them to do. Luckily for the other 10%, they're actually open to their spiritual abilities and gifts and are learning how not to have any chemicals in their body at all, and learning that everything that goes on with their physical body is a direct result of what they've been thinking psychologically. So, getting to the bottom of our trauma and understanding, you know, who we really are as a sovereign being, not a weakling, not an idiot, not someone who's going to suffer needlessly. Again, there's my book name, for the rest of their life because they've been told that this is the way of it, you know. There are a lot of people on this planet who are terrified of spirituality. They're terrified of religion. They're terrified of doctors. They're terrified of people. They have all kinds of phobias. And what you will find is that everyone who's on this planet has had some kind of experience in a past life. It is so rare now, okay, in this day and age, to find someone who's never had a life on Earth. I mean, what we really needed is the people that are here now are Earth warriors, right? They've been here before many times. So star seeds and all of that, well, you have a connection to the stars, you have a connection to different planets, but it doesn't mean that this is your first time here, because you want to be well experienced to come into what's going on here. And you wouldn't be able to remember any past lives if this is your first life, right? So we have a collective of people all coming together. I've seen a change in the last, well, you know, since 2020 and all that stuff happened, and it broke communities, it broke families, it broke friendships, and it broke people off into all of these different groups. And it caused a lot of problems for many people. And my husband and I were definitely in that group of the people who had a lot of loss with it. Okay. Now there is maybe not, because we've done this beautiful meditation and maybe you need to do it more than one time, but there are hints that they're going to start to really, really reinforce masking and lockdowns and all those things again, and really ramping up the fear factory again. Don't let them do it to you again, okay? You're going to have to stay really firm. You're going to have to stay really strong in who you are. When you are going through the biggest healing of your life, I can tell you right now that everything will seem to go wrong as well. You will have so many things in your way, so many blockages, so many people at you, or problems or issues or fears, or, you know, other people in the family or children or whatever. It's in your face to see how you are not only going to react, but something that I was talking about to my light leaders is how you have been adapting, how you adapt to your circumstances every single time, or how you feel you should adapt to your circumstances, or what you think that others expect you to adapt like in your circumstances. And you could be the toughest person, but you could still be going over these different scenarios in your life until you finally decide, you know, I'm just going over and over the same story. I need to stop repeating this pattern all of the time. Shake it off. Understand myself from a place of compassion like I give to everybody else, you know? So we're going to be in the beehive of activity here. So your ability to focus on where you're going and that you're sovereign and that you have your light team support and all of these things, you're going to have to remember it. And if you start going with monkey chatter BS and what did she say? What did he say? And what about this? Or what about this reading? And what about that reading? And that person says this and that person says that. If you get yourself into that, you're doing the wrong thing. Because what you need to do with anybody's message is take bits and pieces from it, but form your own idea. If there are messages out there that are giving messages for you, you can't live on every single word. You've got to grab it in, you know, reformulate it in your own way to suit your circumstances or whatever it is and move forward, right? So, you know, there are so many people that will go through 50 readings a day like they're obsessed with it, you know, or whatever. And nothing changes in their life, you know. I make readings every single day because I know this. And I've had people tell me, and I can show you like the testimonials as well, that people are helped. They feel like they're understood, that something was giving them a sense of comfort. And that's why I do readings every single day for nothing, right? Because one, it's also helpful for me in a sense that I can share a message and share healing every single day. But two, that the world is getting a positive vibration and each person that's looking at it is getting a positive vibration, and that's got to be a good thing. From there, if somebody wants something personal, I have so many personal readings right now available where we can get into the nitty-gritty of things, the deeper things, opening up the Akash for you and having a look at what the hell's going on, right? I have helped so many people with their past lives and their things like that because they are actually open to receiving. If they weren't, they wouldn't get anything. It's just how it is, right? So you know where I am if you want any of those things, and make sure you're on my newsletter list because I send out little discount codes and things like that for you to use. And, you know, there's just so much valuable information here that is my life's work to share it with you, right? To give it to you, to open your heart, to open your soul energy, to open all of your experiences and abilities, right? It's the key to open all of these things. And you're doing it for yourself by reaching out into the right places. So what we have is a frequency that's changing on the planet. And we have a low frequency, a very low frequency right now, and a very high one. There's no in between anymore, right? So you have to make sure that if you're doing a declaration, if you're calling everybody in, clearing the way forward, if you are understanding that you can be in control of every experience that you're having, then you're in the very high frequency, and it's going to be less likely for you to be dragged down into the old one. Now, believe me, people will still try to do it. Okay, they can't help it. When someone sees you shining brightly, they don't like it. Unfortunately, some people will want to know what you're doing and be really excited to learn. Other people will just be hateful, doubtful, and projecting all of their own self-hate on you. You have to have quite a backbone in this work. You can't take things personally. If you did, you wouldn't keep going, right? But we have this opportunity right now that, you know, there's going to be a blue moon coming up on the 30th of August, second full moon in a month. Okay, so it's a blue moon, which is extraordinary energy for healing, for the world, for things for us to see. There's also a lot of extraordinary energy of the darkness falling. We may see a dramatic change on the 30th of August, a dramatic change. I don't want to limit anybody with predictions. I'm not going to do that, okay? But everything that I say to you is based on writings and channelings and feelings, okay? And, you know, I will try to give hints of what we need to do for our side of things, rather than telling you, oh, this is happening and that is happening and this is going on and this is going on around the world, and then you start focusing on everybody around the world instead of you. If you went and focused on healing everybody around the world instead of worrying about everybody around the world, you know, just focus on the healing and the wellness of the people, which does so much more for them than with worry, then that's one thing. But as beings of, you know, the heaviness of this earth, we forget just how powerful and how multi-sensory we actually are. Wait a second. 1 second. Okay. All right. Oh, there was something in here. Hang on. Okay. In this psychology part of this book, it says, if you cannot love yourself, you cannot love others, and you cannot stand to see others loved. If you cannot treat your own self kindly, you will resent that treatment when you see it in anyone else, right? If you cannot love yourself, loving others becomes a painful endeavor with only occasional moments of comfort. In other words, loving others, or how you treat yourself, is your own dose of your own medicine that you really give to others at the same time. Individuals who experience what might be thought of as a martyr attitude see themselves as giving all that they have to others. They see this as a form of loving, but in truth, the love that they give is contaminated because it's filled with sorrow for themselves, right? A sense of guilt and powerlessness clouds the energy from their hearts. And so when their affection is felt by another, it doesn't feel good, actually. It feels somehow thick with need, yet the need is never articulated, so their love feels like cement pulling at you. When you can do kindly things to yourself, then you know what it is to be able to love yourself. Then you can look at others who desperately need kindness and love and feel good about their getting it, not patronizing, but truly good. This is the energy of the soul. This is the perception of the soul. When there's no compassion, when there is guilt, remorse, anger, or sorrow, there's opportunity to heal the soul. What is the relationship of these experiences to a healthy soul and to a soul that's not healthy? What is a healthy soul? A healthy soul is someone who is focused on understanding the traumas, understanding the things that have happened, and having compassion for themselves anyway, rather than going through those throes of, why me? Well, it didn't happen to my sister, but why did it happen to me? And why was my mother loving to her and not to me? Well, it must be something wrong with me. Well, I've got to do more then. I better do as much as I can, and I'll just keep right on going, and, you know, someone's going to really notice me one day, right? That used to be me, right? And that's the way that I used to react. I'd be like, how come this girl gets to have, you know, a spot in the team, and you know, I've worked my butt off for this particular position, and it's always overlooked, sorry, and undervalued. Why is this one the captain of the team and not me? Why is this one the captain of the school? Why is it these people who have a lot of money that have the best clothes and everyone notices them? Why doesn't anyone have any sort of thought or empathy for anybody else? It was always stepping on your shoulders to get to the top, And so I decided to reparent myself. And this is why I've decided to be someone who has thought of everything. It's like I've thought of everything with regards to healing and trauma response, because it was all thrown at me and I had to climb my way out of it. Now, one thing that I want to tell you is, if you've been someone, okay, and this is something that I have had to admit to myself, and I've worked on it, okay? But if you're someone who had nobody to help you through your abuse and trauma and all the stuff you went through, and you had to fight your way out of a paper bag yourself, like you had to just fight your way with nothing and nobody, right, to gain the wisdom that you have today, right, or to get where you are today or whatever. You may have little patience for people who have all the help in the world and still won't do the work. Okay? That was something that really was, I admit, an absolute frustration for me. Because I would say to myself, this person has got all this help, all this family, all this friendships, all this work stuff, all the help in the world, and they still feel sorry for themselves. It'd be like, I would see it as a weakness. And that's the honest truth. When someone just can't get it together and they've got so much help, I'm like, wow, what would it be like for you if you didn't have any? You wouldn't fight at all if you can't fight now. And I admit to you all that it used to drive me up a wall. And I had to understand this though, because my life was really difficult with trauma and abuse and stresses, and I only had myself to deal with it all. And people say, wow, you're so strong. It's like, well, I had to be strong. There's a difference. I had to do it because no one was there to complain to. No one was there to cry on their shoulder or help me, anybody. Nope. So when I saw someone with a lot of help around them, I couldn't help but be annoyed with them for complaining. I'd be like, what have you got to complain about? So when I began more of the therapy side of things with spiritual work, I had to learn what this was, because there was a real frustration there for people not to get it. It's like, you've got all this support and you still don't get it. And I had to pull myself back from it and say, well, it's not their fault that they have things that way and you didn't, right? That was your pathway and this is theirs. And this is, valid for them, whatever they're going through. And you are going to help push them through. And luckily they do have people that will also help to push them through. Lucky for them that's the case, because that's part of their journey. See? So sometimes if you're in the spiritual world as well, and if you're holding things inside that you haven't actually recognized because you didn't even realize it was a thing, those things are going to come to the surface. And it's not a bad thing. It's just a survivorship, or maybe it's a reaction to some kind of thing that you had to endure in your life, right? That nobody knows about or understands. And so then when others seem to have it easier than you can be annoyed because you didn't have the opportunity to have any help. And that then goes into the heart space as, that's because nobody wanted to help you because you're not worth it. See? And we have to see and look at our adaptations and look at our reactions and look at our life circumstances and our belief systems to catch these little things that can be blocking us in our journey, and these little thoughts that we have, these little annoyances that we get, you know, the things that remind us of someone who tormented us. For me, unfortunately, it's usually people who are about 20 years older than me or something, and usually female, and they usually try to control me in some way, and that's a direct result of my mother. It's like my mother shows up in all these places. Hello, haven't gone anywhere. let me drive you crazy. Are you gonna let me, or are you gonna recognize it? You know. And yeah, and it's funny because even when you recognize what it is, you still, you know, want to give someone the benefit of the doubt. You know, you still want to not put them in any kind of categories either. And there are little lessons that we learn every step along the way. And as I said to you, you know, when you get a reading from me, you're not just getting me throwing down some cards at you and saying, oh, this is this for the near future. You're getting therapy. You're getting help for the soul, for yourself as a soul. You're going up a notch in your awareness. You're lifting away heavy energy that's on your shoulders. You're going to start feeling better if you dig down and understand that you're also a work in progress. Okay, I've had a lot of years to try to figure all this out, like 33 years, since 1990, right? Since Ice Baby, like, you know what I mean? So there's been a long time of development there. Okay, and I don't expect people to get things overnight. That's why I created the Academy, so you could go over it 1,000 times if you wanted to. In fact, you probably need to. But the purpose of today was to give you some heads up, if you caught it, for what's coming in the near future, okay? To direct your energy into what you want to see, not what you don't want to see. To start to recognize the subtle psychological and spiritual behaviors that you may display in your life, and it could be causing you to not be able to accelerate or not get the right person into your life, or, you know, maybe you don't see yourself succeeding, because there could be these little blockages that are so subtle you don't even realize what they that they're actually anything, and they come up to test you from time to time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do a healing right now on camera, so you can just be ready to receive if you want to, and if you don't want the healing now, it's always going to be on this video, you know, it's ready for you to go. And it is interesting the way that it is channeled, and it's just a natural thing for me to do things this way, and direct energy in the way that I do it. So I'm also obviously teaching everything that I know, and this is at my academy, and that'll just take time for me to get it all out there. I'm also teaching soul contracts and the Lords of Karma, which is coming up on September 30th and the 1st of October. Then you can go back and look at the materials anytime you want. It's like $59 for 2 days of serious accreditation work. Okay. Yeah, so there's something else that I need to say, but maybe I don't, so I'm going to leave it. But you all know where I am, okay? I also have, I just wanted to tell you real quickly that a client of mine suggested that I start doing a lot longer videos, readings. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that asked me to do that, and it was a whole time factor. But now I do have a destiny reading that is like 2 hours plus. It is a voice recorded reading. It is going over past lives, who you are as a soul. It's an expansion of all different types of information and channeling and whatever I can get for you in that time frame is what I'm going to do. You can ask me all these questions and stuff as well. So if you're into something that's larger, you want healing with it, you want life-changing information, you want channeled information, you want readings, you want past life stuff, you want to know who you are as a soul and all this stuff, then try my destiny reading. It's over 2 hours long, recorded for you. And there's also payment options on the website as well. So don't feel like, oh, I can't do it because of this or that. Just say, you know what, I need it for my soul, and it'll be the right thing, and it'll be there, and whatever I need will come through. So with that being said, have a dedication right now of, make sure you're saying a declaration right now. Whatever I need, I'm about to receive. Okay? And let's go from there. So take a deep breath in whenever you start your healing and close your eyes. Okay, so just open your eyes. Okay. Okay. Get a tickly mouth. All right. All right. So before my animals started to say, "Oh, it's quiet in there," so she must be finished, and start talking to me, I will get going, and I hope that this is helpful to you, and I hope to hear from you at some time. And do the declaration at the beginning. You can do it anytime you want, and I hope this is helpful to you. That's the main goal. Okay. Sending many blessings. Lots of love. Bye for now.